Hello, friends. Well, it's that time of year again. My very favorite time of year. Squishy apple season is upon us. And you know what that means. Orchard visits. The other night, I was going to visit the orchard, but first, there's a campground near it, which I decided to go to first because, well, when you go to the orchard in squishy apple season, you may not go anywhere else, except maybe to slide home afterward, because you are full of squishy apples, and your legs won't work, and if your legs won't work, it doesn't make sense to have plans to do things that involve legs, like looking for food. Okay, so I was going to go to this orchard, and there's this campground next to it, and I figured, okay, why not? I'll go see, maybe some campers drop some, beef jerky or trail mix, or the children, maybe they lose their food like they do because they're children and maybe because they're slow or small to the ground. I don't know. But anyway, so sometimes you can find some good food at the campground, and it's also sleeping outside season, so a lot more people will be there dropping their food, maybe, hopefully. Okay, so I went there, and it's interesting because this campground has a reputation for being haunted. Like, a long time it's been haunted, but it's still very popular. A lot of people like to go there anyway. And certainly I do sometimes for the food. But anyway, so I went to the campground first, thinking, okay, maybe I'll get some trail mix, munch it all up before going over to the orchard to get the nice squishy apples. Sometimes they're a little tangy and fizzy, and they make you really dizzy. Anyway, and there's a raccoon named Rocky over there, and he's... Wait, No, maybe take that out. I should not name names. Okay. Anyway, so there's this raccoon over there, whose name I don't know, and he's like scratching at the tent. I don't know, why would you scratch at a tent? He wasn't even trying to get in. He was just scratching at it. I'm like, okay, that's weird, but okay. This is a very slow way to get your food. Raccoon, I don't know. But anyway, so he's scratching over there. And then I see another raccoon who's doing weird things. He's like standing on his hind legs and he's making these noises like, rawr, rawr. I don't know exactly because I'm not a raccoon. But anyway, it even sounded like he was trying to make people names. Like, Bab, Bab, or something like that. Anyway, and meanwhile, there's another raccoon, or like a pair of raccoons, off to the side, and one raccoon's standing up, he's doing it, and another raccoon's behind him. He's got this little flashlight or whatever, and he's shining the light on the raccoon, so he makes a shadow on the tent where the other raccoon's scratching, and they're doing this, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I think I understand this is some high-level raccoon game stuff going on here. Because it didn't take long, and there's a rustling in the tent, and suddenly this guy bursts out with a flashlight, looking around, looking, what's the noises? Why are there shadows on my tent? What's going on here? And he looks a little nervous, but, as soon as he came out of the tent, all the raccoons scattered, so he couldn't see anything. Maybe heard the rustling of the raccoons or whatever. But anyway, so he maybe satisfied, sort of. He goes back into his tent, and the flashlight goes off. And then a minute later or so, that raccoon, I didn't say his name, he starts scratching at the tent again. And they start doing it all over again. The speaker one starts going bab, bab, bab. Raccoon like. I can't speak raccoon. But anyway, so, and they do the light show, and then again, the zipper comes down on the tent. The guy bursts out. He's looking around. Who's making these noises at night? Hello? 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 Is it the ghost girl from the woods? What's going on? No, he didn't see anything. So he goes back into his tent, And the raccoons do it again for a while, but then this time the guy doesn't come out. He's just in there, maybe shivering in his tent, worried about the ghost girl or whatever, or bears or who knows what. Could be making those noises outside his tent, but maybe not a bear. Bears don't really scratch at the tent unless they want to come in, and then it's like, they're gonna get in there. Don't you worry. But anyway, so I think I know what's going on. Okay, so this campground is haunted by raccoons. And I have a feeling this is probably the case for lots of campgrounds around the place, the country or whatever. So think of it this way. If you get the creepy noises at night, and it's in a campground, and you don't know what it is, if you are in the North America place, it could be raccoons. It probably is raccoons who want to scare you out of your tent so they can eat all your food while you're gone, and they can just enjoy it. Plus, raccoons really, really like games at your expense, and this is like an elite, high-level raccoon game that, well, locally it must be very popular because this has been going on for a while. But, that said, if you live in a place without raccoons, that noise outside, it could be a ghost. Or it could be a bear who wants to eat you. I mean, there are bears in North America, so the raccoon game may not be the raccoon game. It could be the bear trying to eat you game. Just kind of subtly, maybe, I don't know. So don't worry, it may not be raccoons. It could be a bear. It could be a ghost. It could even be great children, but probably not. They're very selective with their cow games. But, so also, a little tip for you. If you think your campground is haunted by raccoons, don't throw your food at the raccoons, because they will only wonder, where is the rest of it? And they won't leave you alone until they find it, or satisfy themselves that you don't have any more. Now this only applies to campgrounds, basically. If you want to throw food in neighborhoods, especially in my neighborhood, you can do that. And in my neighborhood, if you want to throw the food at the raccoons, if I'm standing right behind the raccoon, that is okay. Throw the food. I will help you. You want to deposit it in special places around the campground. When you're leaving, for us to find like a little treasure later, that is okay. So if you hear those noises at night, they may not be ghosts. Although, if you get a lot of slammy cabinets in your house, or your tree shakes violently, at night, it could be raccoons, but maybe not. I mean, it could be maybe invisible giant squirrels who are very violent with your tree. Maybe not ghosts. But anyway, so basically, if you think your campground is haunted and you live in a raccoon place, it's probably not haunted by ghosts. It's probably haunted by raccoons. Now you know. You can go outside and sleep in creepy places like campgrounds and maybe not get eaten by bears. And you will do just fine. Now go out there and don't be creeped out and get a good night or good day's sleep. Bye!